Hey, are there any legally minded individuals in the gallery?
No, Your Honor, I'm just legal aid here.
Did you,
did
Jaeger hire you to kill Chris? And I was like, what?
Oh, really?
I don't know Jaeger.
Fantastic.
I don't know who that is. Did you just call Chris?
I see. Well, that's a damn shame.
No, I didn't.
Okay, I'm happy
and he
to
said,
assist
if you're
Your Honor.
lying to me, I'm gonna kill
no
you.
problem.
It'd be
And
a
hung
shame.
up. So
It'd
then
be
I called him
shame
back.
to
And I
disobey a
explained the
court order. I
situation
wouldn't
that I
want to be
prank
found
called
in
him.
contempt.
I don't know a Jaeger. And I didn't
So
realize
here's
they
the
were
deal,
at
right?
war.
There's this
And
docket
I don't really
filing
want to
on
be in the middle
You know how to get to the
and
docket,
then he
sir?
called me a
You know what that
turtle.
is?
Yes, sir. As a matter of
Alright.
fact,
Yeah, that
that's
sounds
how I
about.
found
That
this
sounds
case.
okay. So
Gotcha,
you did
cool.
defuse it. Good job, Turtle.
Study, do a
I
quick case
did.
study.
I'm gonna
Mr.
actually ask
Fisher
him
is
if I
here.
could
I
beat
don't
up
believe,
Mr.
Mr.
Chris
Hendrixx
though,
is
because he's
at this
bitch
time.
number 2.
Okay, all right.
11 minutes later.
Doesn't matter.
All right.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the generous allowance of time.
Not a problem, and we appreciate you for your late entry into this assess.
course.
We are here for a civil action between the plaintiff, Mr. Damien Tinkerman, and 2 parties. One, Mr. Bili Hendrixx and Mr. John Fisher. I want to start out by thanking the parties that did attend today. I will be putting a note down here as well as pertaining to Mr. Fisher, that he does have until the end of this case to arrive. Should he fail to arrive, a bench warrant will be issued for failure to appear to a summon court. And that will be at my discretion. Before we begin with the reading of the statement of claim, does either side have any pretrial motion?
Yup.
Okay, from the plaintiff.
Motion for directed verdict based on the evidence and the lack of evidence provided from affirmative defense from the illegal towing.
I know what that meant.
Okay. Rebuttal to that. Basically, she's saying she's motioning for a directed verdict based that, no evidence was put on the docket to revert that this was a legal tow.
I understand, Your Honor. I would pretend that the defense in this case was that my client did not, when my client was making statements related to their availability, that is a clear sign that they do not find that they are guilty of or will be found liable, as this civil case was. The fact that they are in conversation to be available tells me and tells the court as well that he would like to, move forward and defend his honor in this case. Additionally, I've spoken with my client and he is looking forward to testifying in this case, and he would like to present that as a part of his defense and evidence. And so the plaintiffs in this case are more than happy to question him on this. And of course, in any civil case, both sides have a right to depose witnesses, gather evidence, and in the climate of the city that we're in, I think that it is more than appropriate to give us the opportunity to at least testify.
The plaintiffs would be more than happy. Don't speak for me.
An extreme of direct verdict.
Your Honor,
Yes.
he said the plaintiffs would be more than happy. I would request that they don't speak for me.
Duly noted.
Thank you, that's
Given
all.
the nature of the matter, I am going to deny your motion at this
I
time.
won't be denied.
Mr. Fisher was without counsel until now and may not have been aware of procedure on the docket as far as submission of evidence. While we understand that the burden of proof for a civil matter is through a preponderance of evidence, I would like to at least hear arguments from either side. So that motion's going to be denied at this time, counsel.
No problem. Thank you, Norman. We appreciate it.
Okay, understood. Any further motions, or can I begin with the statement of claim?
You may begin.
No motions,
Okay.
Your Honor.
All right, fantastic. Then I will read out. The statement of claim reads as follows. Damien Tinkerman has experienced his vehicle being towed and impounded without just cause.
He's probably going to rule in our favor, but he's going to at least let the RP happen, which is a good judge decision to make.
This claim seeks restitution for the financial losses and stresses incurred due to these erroneous actions. Relief sought is a reimbursement for all impound fees incurred due to the erroneous towing of $600. Further punitive damages of compensation for time of distress caused by the repeated unlawful impoundment of the vehicle at $1,000, and special damages being a formal retraction of all wrongful impounding actions. Okay. With there being no additional pretrial motion, I will open the floor to opening statement. Plaintiff, you're first.
Your Honor, the evidence clearly reflects a legally parked vehicle, and the defendant's state ID is listed on the impound information on the day in question. The facts and the evidence will show that they illegally towed and impounded my client's car, causing him undue harm. We are also asking at this time that if they are so found liable and the damages are not found to be sufficient by this court, that they be forced to also advertise Damien Tinkerman's music. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. DiVincenzo, your opening statement, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, I want to make it very clear that as I'm coming in at the 11th hour on this, I hope that this court and that the plaintiffs will bear with me.
I didn't prep
I
at
may
all
make a
for this
couple
one,
mistakes
so
here or there, but
that should
I
help
am
them
going to
feel a
do
little bit
my
less,
best to be a vociferous
painful and
advocate for
sweaty.
my
Well,
client
that's
in this
because
case.
they're really
Now, my
simple for me.
client, as the evidence will show, John Fisher, was in fact a legally operating, state-operated tow truck driver. Now, at the time that this towing incident had taken place, the state of a lot of the towing operations were very up in the air. Those that were attempting to do the good work of properly escorting vehicles that were illegally parked away from the areas that were violated. There was not a clear procedure or messaging from the government on a lot of this. And so there may have been some mistakes as regards to photographing or not. However, having said that, my client here is not the one that actually issued the violation. As it shows on the impound information, the issuer was Bill Hendrixx. And as he is not here to testify as to the condition when he initially issued it, that is the prime case that we would portend, is that if the individual
Hendrixx?
who had marked the vehicle for tow is not here, then that certainly pokes a hole in what the plaintiff is arguing. Additionally, my client
That doesn't
here
poke
is
a
willing
hole
to
at all.
testify that when he arrived at the scene of the vehicle, it was in fact illegally parked. So he may have not been the one that was issuing the ID, but when he was there, it was in fact illegally parked.
Sorry, which
So,
one issued? I was confused. I just want to clarify. Which one are you saying
Bill
issued?
Hendrixx.
Hendrixx?
Bill Hendrixx is the one that issued it and saw the vehicle. And by the way, I would say also, I have been a tow truck driver myself, and I have done impound work myself. And I can tell you that the issuer ID is the individual that actually looked at the vehicle and
I'm
said,
gonna motion
this vehicle is
to
illegally
treat
parked.
Billy
That
Hendrixx.
individual is Bill Hendrixx. However, Mr. Fisher
to rule
is
on
the
Billy
individual that
Hendrixx's
responded to that
lack
call.
of testimony
So
with
his
negative
level
reference.
of duty of care and his responsibility is shifted and completely different.
Motion
is
to
what we
rule
would
with
argue.
negative
Lastly,
inference
we would argue
regarding
that there is not enough evidence to
Mr.
support
Hendrixx's
the damages. As we see here in
testimony
the
or
plaintiff's
lack
case, the
thereof.
compensation for time and distress caused by repeated unlawful impoundment of the vehicle at $1,000 is not properly proven by any form of pay slips, evidence of loss of wages. We don't even know where Mr. Tinkerman works and what the
Yeah, Jason
value
knows
of
a
that
pie.
means. We don't have any way to truly value it. And so we would ask that that part of it be dismissed as well by the end of this verdict. Ultimately, we ask that you find Mr. Hendrixx and Mr. Fisher not liable for what is their job as a properly valued state co-driver. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, plaintiff has a motion at this time based on respondent counselor's opening statement to rule of negative inference regarding Mr. Hendrix's testimony or lack thereof.
Take it under advisement.
Thanks.
All right. With opening statements,
No defense is not a
concluded,
defense.
We will open the floor for testimony. Will the plaintiff be testifying in this matter?
Indeed.
Okay, Mr. Tinkerman, come on up to the stand.
David,
Yeah.
you're walking so slow.
All right. Damien, can you please raise your left
He's
hand
high.
for me? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury? So help you, Ollie Sykes.
Ooh, obscure one. Hell yeah.
All right, the witness is sworn.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mind if I stand?
You may.
Sick.
What day was this again?
Dudded.
Hold on. Day 1 sick? Which day was it again? On January 7th? Damien, were you, driving your vehicle on January 17th?
Yes.
Wait, sorry, wrong day. January 7th. Got it. Okay, I had an extra one.
I mean, I
January
drive
7th.
every day, so
Okay,
yes.
great. Is the vehicle, in evidence, shown, is that your vehicle?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Yes or no questions aren't inherently leading. Sorry, did you need me to rebut?
No, so yeah, that's going to be correct. She's making a direct point to the evidence, which is the plaintiff's P, and is asking an open-ended yes or no question. That objection is going to be overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But yes, that is my car.
All right. Is the plaintiff's a screenshot of impound record? Is that vehicle information referencing your vehicle there?
Yes.
And did you have to pay the fee to release or retrieve the vehicle?
Yeah.
How much did you have to pay?
600 plus tax.
Is that referenced in the bank account record in the plaintiff's C?
Yes.
All right. And in the plaintiff's B, your vehicle is shown to be legally parked. Is that, can you just clarify, where is that? Where is that parking lot?
Outside of my former employment, Senior Buns.
Okay, so,
In the parking lot across the street.
okay, thank you for that. When you left your vehicle, it was shown as you had taken the picture?
Yeah, I literally parked there every single day. That was considered my spot. So I was a manager there.
Right, perfect. When you came back out, where was your car?
Gone. It was impounded.
Did you have any idea of what had happened to it while you were inside the Senior Buns?
Nope, I was shocked because I
Objection,
was.
Your Honor. Objection! This is speculation. Asking the witness to speculate is improper.
Do you want me to rebut?
Well, no, I can take this one from here. The question, Counselor or Mr. DiVincenzo, is if he had any idea what had happened. That can be answered with a yes or a no. If he knows what happened, he can speak
say
to it. But
no.
if the answer is no, I will not allow him to speculate in nature. The answer would stop it. No.
Okay, understood.
Okay. You may continue.
No further questions at this time, Your Honor.
So,
point has been pretty clearly made. It was legally parked. You left it legally
Okay.
parked.
Cross-examination.
All right. So, how you doing there today, sir?
I'm
This jack
fucking
beautiful thing.
vibing.
I fucking love that. That's fantastic. You know, I'm vibing too. You know, I absolutely love your tattoos. Where'd you get those?
I'm gonna object to relevance.
I was going to, but I also wanted to know the
All right,
answer.
all right. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I was throwing.
Norman
Yeah.
objecting.
I do appreciate it.
I'm like, I think it's funny. I'm gonna
All right.
I'm gonna let it go.
Mr. Tinkerman. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You did.
Okay. All right. So, what is your current employment is at Senior Bun? Is that
Not
correct?
anymore.
It
was at the time.
Okay, I was gonna object. Damien, can you wait? I'm sorry, Your Honor, could you please instruct the witness to wait 3 seconds before answering so I may have a moment for getting the objection out?
Apologies.
Take a brief moment before answering.
You just sit down.
I can't instruct the witness.
Last question and
That's
answer
the
will be on.
Thank you, no problem, I understand.
Okay, would you like me to ask it again, Mr. Tinkerman?
I just stated it would remain on the record. You said your employment was in Senior Buns. You said it was his previous employment.
The
No
answer
longer
is that.
works
Okay,
there.
I understand.
Correct.
Yes, very good. Okay. So to clarify, January 7th is when you say previously, you're talking about January 7th is part of that previous, yes?
Allowed to lead.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
He's within scope.
Now, do you know how much you are paid as a manager at Senior Bond?
Objection, Your Honor. Scope?
I'll take a rebuttal.
The plaintiff is asking for punitive damages in the form of compensation for time and distress. So I'm trying to understand how he's valued as a manager at Senior Bond.
Sure. Punitive damages are inherently punitive, Counselor. They are at the court's discretion and are not subject to that same burden of proof. For compensatory damages, if she were saying for lost wages, specifically pertaining to lost wages
But I
while he was
didn't.
working,
I very
that would be
specifically
filed
listed
under-
these damages in very
it would
specific
not be filed under
places.
punitive. Take that! 1 second. I'm in court. You'll need to call me back.
Oh, I should go update my yellow page ad to say I'm in court. Don't call me. Oh, my
So
yellow page ad is not here?
inherently,
Holy
this
shit.
does not cross into the scope at this time. No
Okay,
claim is
all
being
right.
made pertaining to Mr. Tinkerman's wages.
I thought it was here.
Okay, very,
call me.
very clearly understood
Trial.
then.
Holy
Appreciate
shit.
that, Your Honor. All right, thank you. So moving on, Mr. Tinkerman. So let's talk about the events of January 7th. So you stated under the direct examination of your wonderful counselor here, Miss. Hold it!
Not Miss Fitzpatrick. Yeah, Mrs. Thoroughbred.
Miss.
If you'd be so
You
kind.
don't do the hyphen thing. You don't do the
No,
hyphen
I
thing.
took
You
his
just
name.
Okay, all right, beautiful. Chendani, fantastic. All right,
Thank
this
you.
Thoroughbred, Counselor Thoroughbred. Under her questioning, you stated that you park there quite often in that parking lot. Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
You're not supposed
Now,
to abuse
on
the
that
being signed
day
in as a
that
lawyer.
You went. to
Oh, I
see your
didn't take
vehicle,
lawyer Q, so I forgot. I think it's.
You
You still
stated
should
that
just
you
post
took
if
a
you're signed in.
photograph of your vehicle prior
We don't have a
to
DOJ
walking
app,
into the
so-
establishment. Yes.
Correct.
I need to pay attention.
Okay.
Fuck.
Now,
I'm gonna sub.
this photograph, do you have a timestamp of when this photograph was taken exactly?
I could probably get it.
Okay, fantastic. So then you wouldn't have any problem producing that to the court as a part of their understanding of evidence in this case, yes?
I could try.
Objection, Your Honor.
I'm gonna-
Discovery is closed.
We're beyond that point. We can't introduce new evidence upon our beginning of the court case.
Oh, interesting. So the photo stands. Very clearly understood, Your Honor. Thank you.
The photo stands as I won't be considering any new or newly entered evidence in trial.
Interesting. Okay. So, Mr. Tinkerman, you stated that that parking spot is considered your quote-unquote your parking spot. Is that correct?
It was at the time, yes.
Okay. So, but the government
God, thank you for the
never
prime sub. What the
told
fuck?
you and said to you that is your personal parking spot, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. Weird.
Your Honor, may I rebut?
I'll hear a rebuttal.
This
you know what?
case
It's
is
weird.
about
I don't even have a
legally
fucking parking
on
spot.
state property. That is why cars are towed for illegal parking. So therefore, it is the state's responsibility to understand who parks where. For example, if there's a
I'm gonna have one
court,
response.
judge that has a
I'm like,
court
Norman,
judge reserved
we don't
parking
even
spot,
have assigned
then
parking
it would
spots.
not be illegal because they're a judge. So I'm trying to make clear to this court that that parking spot is the people's spot, not Mr. Tinkerman's spot.
I have one response, Norman. It's that we don't even have assigned parking spots, though goddamn I wish we did.
Yeah, look,
Thank you.
I'm not going to get
fuck?
caught up in the semantics
Thank
of my
you.
spot versus a legal parking spot. I can take a look at the evidence and see what is determined to be a legal spot or what isn't. I don't want to get lost in semantics here. Because
Okay.
largely I don't think an assertion of whether it's his or the state's spot particularly matters. Your objection is going to be sustained, Counselor.
Okay,
Thanks.
very good. I'll move on. All right. So,
weirdest objection was
the parking
sustained.
spot that others told you was yours. You went and you took this photo. You went inside. Now, how long would you say approximately were you in the senior
Glad I
buns
wrote this
before
down
you
in my
came back
notes.
out?
Half an hour to 45 minutes, roughly. Definitely under an hour.
Oh, half an hour to 45 minutes. Okay, so you weren't just standing on the corner looking at your car for 30 to 45 minutes, right?
No, I'm not a psychopath.
Okay. I wouldn't dare presume to impugn your integrity in that regard, Mr. Tinkerman. Of course not. So, Mr. Tinkerman, I've just got one final question for you. You ever done towing yourself?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions, John. Oh, unless my co-legal aid would like to ask me a question.
Thank you. What the fuck, you guys? Why are you giving me all these biddies? Thank you. 1,000, 2,000s.
Counselor Thoroughbred, anything on redirect here?
Sure. What's your music production called?
Sorry, I'll elaborate. What do you mean by music?
Your music. Do you have a band name? What's your band name? Since you're asking for them to advertise it.
I mean, I have a side project known as Fatal Incursion.
That's what I was
Most of
looking
my
for.
Stuff is,
Thank you. No objection. Nothing pending. Strike everything after the band name.
Was that self-promo?
The self-promotion is stricken from the record.
Great. Thanks,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Tinkerman, you can step down.
Buggers.
Mr. DiVincenzo, is he
Got
marked
him to
for
plug
recall?
and then had it stricken.
Let me confer with my
Did
counsel.
anyone come against him?
Good shit. Good plug.
Perfect. And then I got stricken from the court record, so you didn't look like a shameless self-promoter. You know?
All right.
I'm
We,
definitely a
for
shameless
the
self-promoter,
for the
though. That's
purpose
okay.
of
I'm not
gonna look that
dotting
way
our
in the
T's,
court
crossing our I's,
record.
will we call him? Though we
Oh.
likely will not have any questions, but just in case. We'll,
Fuck, Damien!
You're so
I mean, he's gonna
fucking
remain here
good.
either way, so.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I
How
figured
dare you
anyway.
be so good at
we'll-
law?
All right, duly noted.
fucking high.
Counselor Thoroughbred,
Dude, I'm so fucking
anything
zooted.
to point out any additional witnesses or evidence you'd like to highlight?
Sorry, Damien was trying to mosh pit with me. Simply the evidence provided, Your Honor. I know how you know how to do your job. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but please do look at it. That's all.
Yeah, all right, cool. Does the plaintiff rest?
We do. The plaintiff
All right.
rests.
All right, fantastic. Defense, switch over to you then. Will you be calling any witnesses at this time?
Yes, we will, Your Honor. We'll be calling one of our wonderful clients here, Mr. John Fisher, to the stand.
All right, Mr. Fisher, come on up.
I've been like, I went like
Be taking a seat
weeks
over there
without smoking
to
at
my
all. My
right.
tolerance lowered. And
Oh,
like,
it's all coming back now.
Before you
I'm
do, please
kind
raise
of
your left
actually
hand.
high. Like,
Yeah.
I do
Make sure
okay.
you are yelling at the court. Do you swear to
Yeah,
tell
you
the truth, the
killed
whole
him, bro.
truth, and nothing
I'm
but the
actually
truth?
really good at like,
Under the
Yeah, you
pains
turned
of
into a
imposed
giga
perjury,
Chad.
so help you
shit, I should do part high.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we should watch
You are
Netflix after
sworn
work.
in.
I can't Netflix
Counselor
and
Johnson, let him get
somebody else.
seated.
I just yelled at my husband about that.
Okay,
Yesterday when he was still my fiance.
Thank you
That's
so
actually
much,
how we
Your
got
Honor.
married. So
All right, Mr.
Nice.
Fisher. Appreciate you coming down to this court. How's your day today?
Yeah, pretty good so far.
Okay, all right. But it could be better, right?
Objection, Your Honor. Who asked?
I'm asking. I think it's quite relevant. If he's not feeling too good, we should, check him out, get a UNESCO maybe.
There's nothing to do with the
Sure.
bearing of the evidence.
I'm gonna say overruled on who asked because he is asking, but I am gonna sustain on leading because by inherently asking, by asking, you could be better, right?
Okay.
Classic Oliver Hall.
Holy shit.
All right. So, I'll rephrase. I'll withdraw the question,
David's
Your
so
Honor, and I'll
hard.
rephrase.
Stay away from the right, type of thing.
Okay.
This guy
all
is
right.
so
very,
freaking
very,
Italian.
clearly understood. Thank you.
Put him on the
all
same
right.
asking if he's a bad
Mr.
Catholic, and the answer's yes.
Let me ask you this: do you actually, you know what? I'm just gonna withdraw this line of questioning. Let's move on. So, Mr. Fisher, what is your current place of employment at this time?
I currently work at the tow yard.
Okay. And on the date of January the 7th, what was your employment at that time?
Tow yard again.
Okay. And how about before January? How long have you been a tow truck driver?
For definitely a good few weeks now. I was doing grime beforehand, but didn't really work out. Didn't quite like it, so I quite enjoy towing.
Okay, fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about that profession. So, how does the tow driver employment work? Walk me through it. What is the
Bro, why
day
does this
of a tow
matter?
driver like?
We'll go into the office.
Objection!
How does it matter?
Hold on,
How
pause,
does it
pause,
matter?
Objection,
sir.
Your Honor.
Counselor,
Calls for
is there an
narrative.
objection?
All right, I can rephrase the question, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's good.
Perfect.
Don't leave it that open-ended. Just
How does
have
it
the
work?
described
Like, we're gonna
basics,
hear it.
Yes.
I don't need to hear the fucking entire
responsibilities,
instruction manual on towing.
Very good. Mr. Fisher, what are some of the responsibilities that are assigned to you as a tow truck driver?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Your Honor, this is a case about.
I don't need to. I'm going to overrule in this instance. Responsibilities will pertain to the individual's duties while on duty as a tow truck driver, which is apparently what's bringing us here today. Your objection is going to be overruled.
Just throwing it. Just throw it.
You may answer the question, Mr. Fisher.
No, you're good, dude.
Thank you. So from day to day, if we see illegally parked cars, we will report them to the office, and obviously we do recover vehicles, take them to the impound, and also do like a little bit of roadside repair if tyres are blown, wheels are falling off the
Oh
cars.
my god, you
etc.
guys.
Okay,
Oh,
and
so
who gives you
wow.
these jobs?
Thank you. What the fuck?
So if there is a
Grinder.
impound
Filthy
job
grinders.
to go and attend, generally there would be an issuer who has found the vehicle. They would call in the job to the office would disperse it to the closest unit, which would be one of the tow truck drivers to then go and collect the vehicle.
I see. Okay. Now, is there anybody else that is a part of the employment of tow truck driving that assigns you jobs? Is there anything else?
Not as far as I'm aware. Apologies.
Okay. All right. Are you familiar with an individual by the name of Towington?
Objection,
yes.
Your Honor. Relevance.
There's no fucking way his name is Towington.
Your Honor, I'm happy to explain the line of questioning here, if I'm allowed.
I'll hear a rebuttal.
Yes. So, in short, the defense in this case is arguing that the responsibilities of a tow truck driver were not as clearly defined and lined out at the time that Mr. Fisher was employed, January 7th. There wasn't a memo sent out by Mr. Towington, hey, you got to take a photo of this or that.
Objection, Your Honor. Said this. Facts not in evidence.
But that is the reasoning for the line of questioning, Your Honor. I'm trying to introduce
So that can be produced through testimony. Then I get what you're getting at here, counselor.
And hearsay.
Both of you, actually.
Okay, great.
And I'm going to grant an objection for hearsay. I don't believe Mr. Tom Towington is able to come to court to speak for him.
I see, Your Honor. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try this line of questioning a different way. Would you like me to cease this line of questioning, or may I continue?
if you can find another way to get to it.
Chill, the guy's already dead. No. This is some leftover. This is some leftover Siobhan rage from yesterday.
Mind if I kind of give the straight line path to the question he's trying to ask here?
I would love that. Go. Learning cart. Absolutely.
Sure.
Go ahead, Judge Adams.
Okay,
That is
sure.
absolutely a prerogative.
Sure.
No objections.
You should ask the witness something pertaining to, well, how do you determine if a vehicle is illegally parked, and how do you document that? Ask those types of questions.
I see. Okay. Very good.
Ask him directly, not about what other people may think.
Yes, I figured to go down that line. However, I wanted to make sure I'm not diving into improper hearsay testimony. So, thank you. I appreciate the floor, Your Honor.
This is why you are asking him directly of his knowledge.
Okay, very good. All right. Now, I'm going to ask you then, Mr. Fisher. Excuse me
It's
for
like
all
controlled
that.
high rage. Should have been done yesterday.
When you go out for a tow job for illegally parked vehicle, how is that job sent?
It's sent to us via our phone.
Okay,
We
by
just
phone.
accept the job through the phone, yeah.
Okay, and does that message say anything about legal liability relating to towing a vehicle? Okay.
Oh my God,
Does it tell you how to inventory a vehicle?
No.
Does it tell you that you need to take a photograph?
No.
Okay. Now, let's move forward then to the actual date in question, January 7th. Mr. Fisher, were you working as a tow truck driver on January 7th?
Correct, I was.
Okay. And let me clarify, were you clocked in as a tow truck driver on January 7th?
I was.
Okay, very good. Now, when you were clocked in, walk me through some of the jobs that you had to do that day.
The same as I
I'm going
stated
to
earlier.
object to relevance from the bench here. To kind of keep this on track for you here, we're going to try and stick to the vehicle in question.
Okay, all right. I just didn't want to lead, Your Honor. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just ask you direct then, Mr.
Me
Fisher.
too. That's why I'm being nice. We
when
need more lawyers.
You were clocked in on January 7th. Did you receive a call about an illegally impounded vehicle near Senior Bun?
Not an illegally impounded vehicle, no.
Okay. What was the call you received at Senior Bun?
I'd received a notification on my phone that I accepted to collect a car in parking violation.
Okay, a car in parking violation. All right. Now this message.
He's illegally.
Did it tell you that Mr. Bill Hendrixx had issued this tow impound?
No.
Okay. Now, when you receive any of these jobs like this, are you notified of who exactly it was
I
that
implemented
marked?
learning court
No, not at all.
so that the PD would have a better job, or have an easier job in court, and they could learn and
so
they would
you
get better.
accepted the job, right?
Correct.
Okay. Walk me through then.
Oh, leading?
Pointer,
Sorry,
that's
I was
leading.
gonna, yeah.
Oh, that's right. The right. I apologize.
Sorry, he was
Hold on,
answering
I
really
apologize.
fast. Could you ask him to,
Yes, my
Norman,
apologies.
if you would, please ask him
Just
to
take a
do
brief moment.
Yeah,
So, Mr. Fisher, go ahead and when I ask you a question, just take 5 seconds because the plaintiff may want to object. But don't worry, I'll knock that right out of the park for you. But I just need you to wait 5 seconds for all that to be taken care of. All right.
Doesn't need to be full 5, just a brief moment.
Yeah, just literally enough where, like, just give my brain 1 second to compute. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Yep, understood.
Please continue.
Very good. So, Mr. Fisher. So, oh wait, let me ask you this also. Do you know Bill Hendrixx?
No.
That's fine.
Okay. So you never got a call from him saying, "Hey, I need you to tow this."
No.
Okay. All right. Very good. So, you received the call for this Senior Buns situation. What happened next?
I got a location sent to me from the office. I attended the location, and that's where I found the vehicle illegally parked.
Okay. Now, that's a very tricky statement there. You say you saw it was illegally parked. Describe for
correct.
me what that vehicle was positioned in when you saw it.
Upon arriving, it appeared it had been maybe shunted from the back, and it was basically taking up multiple spaces.
I see. So,
As were several other cars also in that same car park.
okay, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and direct your attention to plaintiff's evidence B, the photographic evidence. Do you see that on the evidence listings there, Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
Okay. So do you see that line just behind the vehicle? Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, your testimony is that the vehicle was in the middle of that line there. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. It was taking up at least a coverage of 2 spaces.
Okay. All right. Very good. And then what'd you do next?
Wiggled my way in there and towed the car.
You wiggled your way in there, you towed the car, you did what you needed to do. Okay, fantastic. And then what did you do next?
Took the car to the impound lot, and that's where my job finished.
Okay. Okay, so let's clarify on that. Job finished. So, I know what you mean when you say that, but for the purpose of the court's clarity, what is the last step that you have to take as a tow truck driver when you deliver the vehicle to the impound lot?
I will pause here and inform you that the courts are aware of what it means to process an impounded.
Okay, all right. Then you know what? We're going to hold that then there, Mr. Fisher, because it seems the court is well aware of that. So we're just going to pause that then and move on to the next line of questioning, okay? So, then let's see. Okay. Let's move forward then in the line of events. So you brought it in, you impounded it at the lot, and then what'd you do next after that?
I went about my day, may have collected some more wheels at Mosley's, maybe got some lunch, like just waiting for my next job to come up.
Okay. Now, so let's then flash forward a little bit in the days after that. So, did anybody contact you about the fact that you had impounded this vehicle in Senior Bun?
No.
Okay. And how were you made aware that there was a civil trial case against you?
When the docket was put up.
Okay. So, you know, Mr. Toland didn't call up and tell you, hey, you messed up on this impound.
I'm gonna object on relevance.
Yeah, again, sustained again. It's gonna be hearsay as well for Mr. Tillman.
Yeah, on hearsay.
Right. All right. Then let me rephrase. Did anybody contact you at any point that works at the towing yard and told you you did this job incorrectly?
Objection, Your Honor. Again, relevance, etc. Everyone has the right to go through civil litigation. They are not obligated to attempt to mediate amongst themselves.
I'm not trying to argue that this case should be dismissed because it didn't go to mediation. What I'm arguing is that my client had a different set of responsibilities in this case than Bili Hendrixx. So therefore, his responsibility was
He was the
to
one that
properly
towed the
impound
car.
it at the time that this incident had taken place. And so that's one part of it. And the other part of it is to understand
Did you call
the
me-
mind of my client at the time, in that he was doing his job as he thought he was supposed to. So that's what we're trying to introduce. That's why it's highly relevant. And we're talking about punitive damages. You know, that's what this gets to the heart of.
Okay. Here's where I'm at with this, Mr. DiVincenzo. I'm inclined to actually sustain this objection. As discovery goes here, right? The plaintiff found and has reason to believe that the vehicle was impounded improperly. There is no duty to report that is the case. And as far as I'm concerned, there is no duty for the tow yard to notify individuals if they quote unquote made a mistake. That's not something that's been established previous. And I don't know that that's something that necessarily happened and is within anyone's control, if you get my drift. So this line of questioning is irrelevant at this time. Objection's going to be sustained.
Okay. All right.
Just rest.
I got one last question for you, Mr. Fisher.
Okay.
Do you believe that? Let me rephrase. Based on your professional opinion as a tow truck driver, do you find that you made any mistakes in this situation when you towed the vehicle?
No.
Very good. I will pass the witness to the plaintiff, Your Honor.
Okay. Open for cross.
You testified that you had received a call and then went to go pick up the vehicle that had a quote-unquote parking violation. How long did it take you to arrive at the Senior Guns parking lot from you getting the call? Like, I want just distance traveled in time or in kilometers, miles, whatever, time preferred.
Maybe within a couple of miles, within a couple of minutes. Generally not too far away from each job.
So you were probably just around the corner then, not too far.
Probably not.
Couple
no.
blocks? How far would you say?
Blocks.
Couple
Yeah,
blocks?
possibly.
Alright, and you said that the vehicle was taking up multiple spots as well as other vehicles there in the parking lot, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Did you tow any of the other improperly parked vehicles?
I'll take a rebuttal.
Your Honor, where I'm trying to get to at this point in time is if you words. We don't know what car he actually got the call for, if there was multiple improperly parked vehicles. If there was, as he testified to, we have no evidence showing which one was the actual one he got the call on. We don't know if it was supposed to be Mr. Tinkerman's or another vehicle. I do think that's incredibly relevant.
I've got a rebuttal to that, if I may, Your Honor.
Sure, I'll take one.
Two things. Number one, we've already established indirect when I showed him plaintiff's B, the plaintiff's own evidence, and he possibly identified that vehicle as the one that he had towed. That's number one. Number two, when you are a tow truck driver, and you, as the Honor says this yourself, you know that when you are impounding a vehicle, when it's brought and processed, you can't process an incorrect vehicle. If that's the one that you got called for, that's the one that's going to get put in. So, with those two pieces of evidence in mind, that
really
is the evidence that
good
plaintiff
job.
so desperately seeks.
That's actually a really good job. I kind of want to award him.
I'm going to sustain the objection to relevance at this time. Given that, Counselor, if you'd like, we can speak on this after the fact. But I understand what Mr. DiVincenzo is actually getting at here. And
Me
we can
too.
speak on this further.
Also, really good job. That was a great rebuttal. Really proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
How long have you been towing?
For a good few weeks. Probably several.
Could you identify an exact number for me? Because a good few weeks, I'm not sure if that actually goes back to January 7th or prior to that.
Between
or
a few weeks and
fresh.
several. So sometime maybe 4
Objection,
weeks,
Your
maybe
Honor.
6 weeks.
What's the objection?
Hold on,
hold on. Pause.
Yeah.
So,
Objection, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Fisher, when
Ask
there's an
and answer.
objection on the floor, you stop answering.
Apologies.
Objection,
You're
Your Honor.
objecting to ask and answer?
Yes, that's right. I already established in his testimony that he had worked at this tow truck, and the time period had already been established. So that's already in evidence.
I'm asking for
Sure.
a clarification on the time period. On the exact
Correct.
time
So
period.
on the direct line of questioning here, it was asked.
Okay. And how about before January? How long have you been a tow truck driver?
He said,
For definitely a good few weeks now. I was doing grime beforehand, but didn't really work out. Didn't quite like it, so I quite enjoy towing.
she's asking for clarification on the enumeration. Of
I understand. Objection.
So we'll go in.
withdrawn then.
Yep. Perfect.
How,
So, Mr. Fisher, if you could answer about how many weeks specifically.
Roughly about 4 weeks. 4 to 5 weeks. So.
so had you doing math? So had you been towing for less than a week when the incident occurred?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
So just a few days.
No, a little bit longer than that.
According, if it was 4 weeks, then it would have been 4 days. You had been towing.
Yeah, like I say, it's probably about a week before. Yeah, maybe correct on that.
Okay. Were you an expert on how to spy illegally parked vehicles at that time?
Yeah, no, that part wasn't my job.
I mean, you have to tow. Oh, sorry, we
Hold
had
on.
objected. Yeah,
Pause,
shut up,
pause,
shut up.
pause. There's an objection for relevant. I'll hear a rebuttal.
Whether or not he was able to actually assess whether or not the situation merited the tow is incredibly relevant. It's quite literally within his purview, as was the responsibilities and duties question that opposing counsel asked under direct.
I'm inclined to agree. The objection is going to be overruled. I'll hear an answer to the question.
It was, were you an expert in being able to... He sort of had answered. Lad, can you repeat your answer?
No, definitely not an expert, but with a little experience and, I mean, knowledge through life. I can see an illegally parked car. I know whether it's illegally parked or not, but at the end of the day, that part of the seeing the car being illegally parked wasn't part of my job. I was just there to collect the car.
So if a car was legally parked but hadn't been reported for a parking violation, would you tow it still?
I was called the
Your
office.
Honor, speculation. The plaintiff is asking my witness to speculate, which is highly improper for a court that would require relevant
Rebuttal.
I'm asking him directly on circumstances that he had prior testified to, just in the question before.
Sure, but you're phrasing it as if the car was legally.
I'll
would you
rephrase,
have
because he's
noted?
right. It was calling for speculation. He did already answer,
Yeah.
but it was calling for speculation.
Objection's going to be again, Mr. Fisher.
I recognized.
Wait a moment before answering.
Yeah. Do wait a few
Apologies.
seconds, all right? Count to like 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, all right?
Mhm.
Have you ever towed a vehicle that was had been requested for a parking violation that did not appear to be parked incorrectly to you?
No.
What have you done in those instances?
I've simply called up the office and got them to cancel the job.
And have you been doing that the whole time you've been towing?
Yes.
Why didn't you this time? I'm trying to get her since it's
Your
not there.
Honor. The plaintiff is browbeating my client. He's already answered.
I believe you're looking for badgering here.
That's right. That one.
I'll hear a rebuttal.
It's cruel. Someone asked for permission to treat the witness as hostile, even though it's inherently hostile. I'm gonna go ahead and motion for that now.
He is inherently hostile. I'll hear an answer to this question, but I think this is the end of your line. The objection's going to be overruled.
Why didn't you this time? Why didn't you this time, Mr. Fisher?
Because the car was illegally parked and not in the space where I would have cancelled the job.
I'm gonna actually motion to strike his answer based on facts and evidence.
Your Honor.
As was the car in the rear of that photo that you put in the
Okay.
evidence.
Yeah, I'm gonna deny the motion.
That's all right.
His testimony is from his person.
I understand. That's all right.
All right.
It was worth a try.
Anything on redirect, Mr. DiVincenzo?
Yeah, I got a couple. All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Fisher. I hope you weren't too, rattled or shaken or whatever's, if you ever need EMS, you let me know, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, fantastic. Okay. So, let's talk a little bit about, what, Miss, Thoroughbred
Damien, are you just like
yes,
baked into the
Thoroughbred.
fucking floor right now?
So,
I'm colorblind and I can see
You,
everything. I can see
came
all
to
the
the
colors.
scene.
Oh wow, that must be amazing
and
for you.
you were told that the car is parked illegally, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So,
One more question
No.
ending in the word right.
Oh yeah, objection leading. Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
I was making sure my client was okay. He's on the ground.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, I just form a habit. Okay, all right. I'm reeling it in here.
Don't be Oliver Hull.
Last. I got you. We wouldn't want to be that guy, would we? anyway.
Oh my
Give me 1
god.
second.
Can they
let me,
plant a PD
gather my
Glock on
thoughts.
Oliver and then ocean dump him? Please? Sorry, I'm the worst. I'm the worst. I thought that was funny.
Dude, there's no way that motherfucker's name is Tollington, dude. There's
No, Oliver is such a good
Uh,
heel and like
real, they're
opposing
lying to
counsel.
us.
You know what,
For real,
that-
not for play.
no further
Like, he's
questions,
great as
for
like
this wonderful,
Siobhan hates the
fantastic,
nemesis.
beautifully dressed witness here with his
So
wonderful hat.
smarmy.
Defense is going to ask at
He
this
does
time
such
that
a
the
good job
witness,
role-playing it.
step down from the...
Well, that's what I do. That's my responsibility. So
Okay,
you can
You
go
all
ahead
right.
and step
flirt
down.
with his clients.
All right.
Fisher, you can
Thank
go
you.
ahead and step down.
It did sound like you. Your Honor, can we ask for
Very good.
clarification on whether or not counsel was flirting with the witness?
Oh, you know what? I am just always a good eye for a good dresser. I've only got one eye, so I value every time I see a good dresser.
So you said I'm a bad dresser?
You
That's
take with that
fucked
what
up.
you will.
So are you saying my client's a bad dresser?
No, in fact, as you recall, I actually tried to ask him about those wonderful tattoos he's got. So, I mean, he's already...
But that's not
Tattoos are not
clothes.
Before he
clothes.
even got-
Tattoos are not a fashion sense. They're an artistic choice.
Well, one man's artistic choice is no man's clothes. in my opinion.
Okay.
But
all
that's
right.
for an argument.
All right.
It's
All right.
not
All right.
clothes.
Enough of the back and forth.
Is he trying to fucking
Mr.
saw
Silvio,
me? Is
any
he trying to wear my
witness
skin?
reference you'd like to highlight?
He's trying to
yeah,
Leatherface
I mean,
me.
I guess more
What?
dislike,
Leatherface you?
not highlight, but
Yeah, he's
dislike.
calling my skin
has
clothes. He's gonna
been
make
made clear,
clothes out of
plain
my
and
skin.
does not have a time stamp. So this photo could have been taken the day that this thing was filed. It could have been taken a day before the tow happened. It could have been taken before it got hit, between the 30 to 45 minutes. So, you know, don't take that picture at face value. Think about, did this really get taken at the time that the plaintiff is saying? And even if it
Oh
did,
shit! I should have provided
maybe
your
there was
text
a
to
guy that
me.
ran the car in and made it illegally parked at that point. As
Yeah,
you know,
shit
there's a lot of
happens.
crazy motherfuckers out there that can, you know, maybe hit a car, and the car could have been illegally parked, then marked for park. for illegally
Understood.
parked,
Anything
and
further that you'd like to highlight in the evidence rather than testify to me about?
then- no, nothing. Nothing.
I'm saying
Okay,
been really
very well.
clutch.
With that concluded, does the defense rest?
Yes, we do, Your Honor. We do.
Okay. All right. With the defense resting at this time, are we ready for closing statements? Do we need a quick minute, or are we going to be able to just go ahead and take these and
Let's
go ahead and
just do it. Send it. Full send, Your Honor, if you would be so
I agree.
kind.
Risk it
let's
for the
hear it.
biscuit.
All right, let's hear it. Closings.
All
Let's go.
right. On the day of January 7th, Damien Tinkerman had just one mission: to go ahead and work at Senior Buns, a place where people talk to other people and do not partake in the dirty, evil act known as filthy grinding. Take that! He had the plans to simply park his vehicle in a legally parked parking spot, a place he had parked many times and taken many pictures of his vehicle of time and time before, as he recalled the precedent had been set in the Old Republic with Red Harrington and Justice Montag. But nay, on January 7th, when he went to go take his legally mandated smoke break, after a quick 45 minutes of working on the job, as he was a manager and they're lazy and take many breaks, he found that his vehicle was missing. Tragedy had befallen Damien Tinkerman. His blood, sweat, life, and tears have been put into this vehicle, only for it to be taken dastardly by a Mr. Wait. Not Fisher, the other one, who's not here today, Mr. Hendrixx. Yes, and with that, we do in fact ask that this court rule with negative inference upon Mr. Hendrix's lack of testimony, as he must have moved the vehicle to make money when somebody else would come and finish the job after Mr. Fisher came in. Your Honor, we believe that the evidence backs up this story and that Damien Tinkerman will receive justice for his lack of vehicle to engage in his smoking habits. Thank you. I'm really high.
Dude, I'm so fucking
I'm
zooted. I
fucking
don't
so
give a
high.
That
What the
was
fuck
awesome.
was
so
that? What the
done,
fuck
bro.
was that?
Forgot
I am
You
so
fumbled
stoned.
that
I
so
just like,
bad, bro.
holy shit.
Silvio, go.
Yeah,
I
that
freestyled
was-
that. I didn't
That was a good
pre-write it at all.
freestyle, bro. But
Thanks.
holy fuck.
Damn. All right.
All
Yeah, you
right,
got
here's the
0
bottom
points
line,
across,
ladies
though.
and gentlemen, everybody
It was
else,
cool. It doesn't matter. I told the story. That's what matters.
All right, here's what's going on. So I've been towing for a bit, okay? Mr.
This guy
Fisher, he's
sounds like a
testified, he's towed a
cartoon
bit.
villain from like
All
Bugs
you
Bunny.
heard that in testimony. When you're going and you're doing those tows yourself, if you're that working blue-collar guy, you don't get all of the information that maybe you should be
my
getting.
God.
That
If he
the
said
exact
hunting
time or
rabbits,
something
I'd
and when it
fucking
was
lose
or
it.
whatever's. And you know that's on the plaintiffs to start proving all that, and they
There
just
it
simply
is.
hadn't done that. How do we know they hadn't done that? Well, let's take for example Plaintiff B. Plaintiff B clearly does not show any time that this photo was taken. It could have been taken on a Tuesday or Wednesday or whenever the frick that they wanted to take that photo, thereby getting a quick, easy $1. This is what this
I
is.
could
It's a
prove
shame
the
because
timestamp, however,
you know, this
it'd
guy's
be
a hard
cringe
worker.
the way I would
All
have
right.
to do it.
I don't really know this guy, okay? But what I do know is he's a tow truck driver. And these tow truck drivers, they work freaking hard out there. And, you know, they may not have all the answers, but they do what they can with the information they got. The information that my client had at the time was that there was an illegally parked vehicle. And you
Tow
heard
truck
in
drivers
testimony,
don't work hard, trust me, I work that
conflicting
job.
testimony, that when he went to that spot, that
Just
vehicle
Google
was in
extra
fact
steps.
illegally parked. Now, I am maybe of the opinion that Mr. Tinkerman doesn't have the most corrupt motives. Perhaps he did genuinely take that photo at that time. But the reality is that when you take that photo, it doesn't mean it's, you know, a video camera. That car right there could have been moved, it could have been damaged, whatever's, and it could have made it illegally parked. As
Yeah, but
Mr.
does he have evidence that it was
my
towed
Mr. John over
illegally,
here,
though? Or that was parked
Mr. John
illegally?
Fisher had testified. So there's just not enough evidence, certainly not a preponderance of the evidence, to find my client liable. Now, I'm gonna be honest, all right? This Bill Hendrixx guy, you know, I wish he could have been here to testify. But having said that, there really is not a lot of evidence here that Bill Hendrixx has done anything wrong. Now, obviously, you know, there's a consideration of default judgment, but, you know, if you put that aside for a moment and consider, you know, Mr. John Fisher's testimony, you know, he shows that this car was illegally parked at the time.
And where's
that
the
he saw it.
evidence, though?
So it is certainly within the realm of reasonable possibility that that vehicle was illegally parked at the time that Mr. Hendrixx approached. Now, in the case that Hendrixx is given a default judgment, that does not necessarily impact Mr. Fisher. And that's a very important note, because Mr. Fisher was simply the guy that got the message to go and tow it, which he gets completely different information than Mr. Hendrixx does. And so, therefore, from the testimony and from plaintiff's own evidence, and from the information that this court has in their own beautiful noggin over there with that towing jobs and how they work, you combine all of that, what do you got? You've got a not liable verdict. A liable verdict for John Fisher at the very least, and I would hope a not liable verdict for Mr. Hendrixx. Thank you so much.
Any of that
All right,
makes
thank you for
sense?
that. I'm going to be returning to chambers at this time for a brief
I don't know. I was
deliberation. Won't be too
I was
long.
about to
I'll be
post
out
something in
within
the
5 to 10
docket. I'll
minutes
email
tops.
it to you.
Court is in recess. at this time.
Bloggers.
Five minutes later.
Ever see that Rick and Morty episode? where,
Yeah,
like,
I've seen it. Oh, hey.
hey,
Welcome back, Your Honor. Great to see you. Hope you had a great
you.
time in your deliberation.
Oh
I'm
my
so
god.
young.
Is that
the
you, Saint
greatest-
Laurent cologne I smell over there? Oh my gosh.
It is. It is. It is.
Wow.
I thought it was Aqua de
usually,
Show.
usually I'm a polo black guy, but you know, I like decided to spice it up a little bit. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for their time. At this time, I have reached a verdict in this matter. It's going to be kind of sweeping, so I encourage your patience. First off, I would like to highlight that the court notices that defendant Bili Hendrixx failed to appear in this matter. As such, I will be issuing a warrant for such. Mr. Hendrixx responded to the summons placed out via the docket. And there was a clear articulation that he was available at the time that this matter was scheduled. There was no indication or response given to the courts that he required any assistance in attending this matter, and further additional notice was served prior to this matter beginning. The courts will view this as ignorance of the summons. He is to be issued a warrant for 50 months in prison and a $2,500 fine.
Spicy.
Holy shit.
Beyond that, after
Wait,
review,
how
the
much?
court finds that the preponderance of evidence has been met to indicate an improperly impounded vehicle. I want to emphasize
we won.
preponderance of evidence. Now, the courts are also going to find that Mr. Hendrix's failure to appear will be held in negative inference.
Yes.
And
Negative
will be finding him
inference.
responsible as the individual who requested the impound in full for the $1,600 requested damages.
Woo, we did it.
The court finds that while guidelines may not have been clearly spelled out for tow workers at the time, there is a colloquial understanding through the unauthorized parking charge in our penal code as to what an illegally parked car is. I'll remind the court for the following. That means that if you park in a, quote, area that is unsafe or on government property, on a sidewalk or curb, in front of a red line, facing in the wrong direction of traffic, in front of a fire hydrant, or across multiple parking spaces, that is an unauthorized parked vehicle. And those vehicles are going to be subject
I didn't
to tow.
prep when I was high.
I also want to lay out the following recommendations and guidelines for all tow drivers going forward. First, when you are marking or requesting that a vehicle be impounded, you, the requester, are to take a photo showing that the vehicle is illegally parked. 2, when collecting a vehicle as the driver, you also are to take a photo showing that the vehicle at that time is illegally parked. And 3, those photos that are taken must demonstrate that the vehicle is parked in an unauthorized manner, such as through the methods and means described above, previously. This documentation
I was gonna
will
lose
afford
your
you
haste,
as the tow
but then
driver
I
civil
got
protection
high.
from liability in these matters.
Civil tow cases
Further,
I can do. We have
and in
evidence.
closing, I advise that all individuals performing tow duties refer to the legislation titled, quote, Tow Clamps View, which was published on January 28th, 2023 by Chief Justice Alan
Yep.
Craig.
I don't have to tell
by
Norman
vote
how
of
to
the
do his
City
job.
Council.
He knows to do it.
In doing so, you will find that the guidelines that I have just outlined are in line with previously published legislation and are to apply to all tows going forward. With that said, this court is adjourned.
It's a buff for me.
Mr. Fisher, you are free to go at this
Did
time.
we win?
You won. You got $1,600.
Cool.
Thanks, Norman.
All right.
Woo!
All right. Fantastic. All right. Good stuff.
What did the guy?
The guy who didn't show up owes you $1,600. Norman's gonna pay it out to you.
Cool.
Holy shit, bro.
Go give him your bank
Holy
account
shit.
ID. Good job, Siobhan. Hold on, I gotta go compliment the opposing counsel real fast. You did such a good job.
Oh, thank you.
I
And you
want to
did too,
compliment
you know.
you.
I'm-
You did so great.
Thank you. And, you did fantastic as well because, I lost. So, yeah, good shit as well.
I mean, you didn't lose completely. Your client right here, this one was found wasn't found liable. The one who didn't show up was. We both got dubs.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that
Yeah,
guy.
fuck that guy.
Yeah,
Fuck that guy.
see
Yeah.
down street. See, we did a great
Let's
job.
fucking go.
Let's fucking
Hey,
go.
I hope you didn't mind. I went a little hard on you. It was my first time. I wanted to pump my chest, but it was hard to do it. You're such a good lawyer, man. So I cut both ways.
So I tell him I was high. Yeah, no worries. I mean, you did great. I know. Absolutely, take your gloves off with me, 100%.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
I tried to make things fair for my side too. You know.
Yeah,
When I allowed
absolutely.
Norman to help direct because I wanted it to be fair, and you did such a great job.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that so much. Especially, I'm just a little illegal aid.
Don't tell him I was handicapped. We won't tell him. We'll give him the confidence boost.
I know your history. I remember you back in the day. You was a
gonna
big
lie.
time judge. You knew your stuff on the law. So hearing that from you, it means a lot. So thank you.
I look forward to watching your law career blossom.
Oh well, hey, call me Rosie, baby. I'm ready to bloom.
I can't wait. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you what a great job you did because you really were. Like that one rebuttal was actually fucking sick. I can't wait till you got more experience and you get bar license. You're gonna be beautiful to watch in court.